In this video, I will take a look at the new Mercedes-Benz CLA 45 AMG, the high-performance offering of Mercedes' most compact sedan for the North American market. And with the 2020 CLA 45, Mercedes has taken this model to the next level with more performance, features, and style. Under the hood is the new M139 engine. It's a turbocharged inline-4 displacing 2 liters. It features an aluminum engine block with a strong closed-deck design. The cylinder walls are hardened with a twin wire arc sprayed coating, which AMG calls nanoslide. The engine has a forged steel crankshaft, forged pistons, and forged connecting rods for a robust rotating assembly. The 16 valves of the engine are operated by 2 camshafts, each with variable timing. The exhaust camshaft also has a variable profile. 2-stage direct and port fuel injection is used to achieve the engine's high output. This engine revs high for a turbo car, up to 7,200 RPM. The Borg-Warner supplied twin-scroll turbocharger produces up to 27.5 psi of boost in the CLA 45. The ball bearing design developed by Borg-Warner means that the rotor dynamics are improved compared to a turbo with traditional journal bearings. The result? Rapid engine response despite being a high boost turbo engine. The intake charge is cooled by air-to-water intercooling. The M139 has an electric water pump, and the power steering is also electric with a variable ratio. Finally, the M139 engine is hand-assembled in Effelsbach, Germany before meeting the CLA 45s in production in Hungary. The M139 produces 382 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque in the CLA 45. In the S model available outside of North America, the engine produces 415 horsepower and 369 pound-feet due to even higher boost pressure. That's over 200 horsepower per liter. The M139 is the most powerful 4-cylinder engine in series production. Power is sent through an 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox with adjustable drive modes. The 4MATIC Plus all-wheel drive system has a new rear differential with multi-disc clutches connected to each rear axle. Power going to the rear axle can be variably controlled between the 2 rear wheels for optimal traction. The car also actively varies the power distribution between the front and rear axles, and that is also influenced by the selected driving modes. Thus, the CLA 45 will accelerate from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.1 seconds. AMG focused on adding structural rigidity to the CLA 45 by adding aluminum bracing under the engine as well as a strut tower brace. The CLA 45 has gray-painted 4-piston front brakes with 350mm discs and single-piston calipers in the rear, around 330mm discs. Driving the CLA 45 is a very fun experience. The engine produces plenty of power and torque. There's turbo lag at lower RPMs, but when the turbo comes on, it's a very progressive surge. The engine sounds good for a 4-cylinder, but it is supplemented in the cabin by what AMG calls real performance sound in this car, and I would say that it sounds good for an artificial exhaust sound being directed in the cabin. The exhaust itself does have a flap that is controlled by the drive modes for a bit more sound if you want it. The drive modes are a central part to the way you use this car. Comfort relaxes the whole car, the engine response, the gear change, and then Sport Plus turns everything to max performance. The 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox is a good transmission. Leave it in comfort mode and it is smooth for everyday driving. Using Sport Plus mode with the paddles in manual is a fun experience. You're going to be constantly ripping through the gears in this car. The paddles are responsive on both upshifts and downshifts. The shifts themselves are fast and coupled with a nice pop from the exhaust. This car has the optional AMG ride control suspension. This means that the car has active dampers that adapt to road conditions, and I have to say that the ride is excellent. The car soaks up bigger bumps without difficulty, but maintains a solid feel. Body roll is at a minimum. In the corners, the front axle never feels like it's pushing wide on the road. This is the 4MATIC Plus system helping to turn the car in, using that rear differential to send the power to each of the rear wheels at the right time. It is a confidence-inspiring driving experience even in wet conditions. The steering is surprisingly accurate, and in Sport Plus mode it has good weighting and a natural feel to it. The brake pedal feels good, and the standard brakes are strong enough for the road. The CLA 45 is factory equipped with Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, which are a great performance tire that round out this package. Under normal city and highway driving, the average fuel consumption is around 26 miles per gallon, or 9 liters to the 100 kilometers, which is respectable considering the performance that this car can put out. Taking a look at the exterior styling of this car, it is obvious that AMG took inspiration from its GT 4-door and the CLS for the styling of the CLA 45. While styling is subjective, the exterior design, in my opinion, is far better than the old CLA 45. The improvements compared to its predecessor continue inside the cabin. The interior layout is far superior to the outgoing model. The screens are well integrated into the dashboard, and they are easy to control either through the steering wheel or the touchpad. The instrument cluster is very configurable and easy to read. Everything you touch has a premium feel. The optional AMG performance seats look amazing and provide the support and adjustability that is needed for a car that corners so well. The seating position is great, but the visibility is not so great, especially behind you given how small the rear windows are. While the interior is nice, there are some shortcomings. The optional Burmester sound system is disappointing. Even with the bass set to +10, it feels as if there is almost no bass in the cabin. I also noticed an intermittent rattle in the interior which I couldn't seem to pinpoint, but it sounded like it was coming from the rear passenger area. Tire noise is also a little high in the cabin. This is a CLA after all, but expectations should be high in a car at this price point. Now moving on to the options available, we'll start with the exterior options. The technology package adds LED adaptive headlights and Distronic adaptive cruise control. The night package blacks out a lot of the chrome trim on the car along the side, around the windows, the front splitter, and the exhaust tips, which I do think is worth getting. You can further enhance the night package with the AMG Aero package. This blacks out the intake scoops on the front bumper, adds black canards to the side, and extends the rear diffuser. If you are choosing a lighter color, the black scoops at the front look better in my opinion, so I'd recommend this option. Inside, you can upgrade to the AMG performance seats, which are a must-have. They look great and they hold you in place. You can also get the ventilated seats, although you can't get them with the Dynamica Alcantara seats. Next is the premium package with a whole list of convenience features like blind spot assist, active park assist, keyless go, Burmester sound system, among other items. The excellent navigation system is also optional. As well, the useful 360 camera is also optional. And you can also add a heads-up display in this car. Another option is the Intelligent Drive package, which has a host of driving assistance features like active steering, active braking, pre-safe, and so on. Performance options include the AMG Drivers package, which features a sports steering wheel with Alcantara on the sides, the AMG Drive Unit selectors on the steering wheel, the AMG Track Pace app, the excellent ride control suspension, and the 19-inch cross-spoke wheels. The AMG Track package takes the car to the next level with a full Alcantara steering wheel, bigger 360mm front brakes with 6-piston calipers which are painted red, The track package also adds race and drift mode, as well as a slight increase of the top speed limiter to 270, or 167 miles an hour. Some of the options and packages might be slightly different in other markets. For example, I see more wheel choices in the US configurator. While this sun yellow paint is striking, this car spec the exact same way, except for white or gray paint, would look just as good and be more under the radar. The price of this CLA here, as equipped, is a total of 76,600 Canadian dollars, or about 69,200 US dollars. That's a lot of money for a CLA, but you're getting a lot of performance. So to sum up, the new CLA 45 has really addressed the shortcomings of the old CLA 45. It's overall a really good car. It has great handling, and it's able to put its power down to the road in all different types of driving conditions. At this rough price range, the only other car I would recommend over this CLA would be the BMW M2 Competition, if you are a true driving enthusiast and want a manual transmission and a rear drive car. Also, if you don't really care for all of the tech options that this CLA has and you care more about engine power, you can get a base C63 around the price of this CLA 45 AMG. However, the CLA 45 is more practical and more usable in different weather conditions, while still offering a great driving experience. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more AMG content, subscribe for more videos like this.